Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study one of the important chapter of macroeconomics, class 12th, that is government budget. So, what is a government budget? Government budget is a statement of estimates of government receipts and expenditure during the period of a financial year. In other words, it shows expected receipts and expected expenditure of government. So, more about government budget. Article 112 of Constitution require central government to prepare annual financial statement. So, other name of government budget is annual financial statement. Government budget is presented in both the houses of parliament, that is Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha. Now the objectives of government budget. The first objective is reallocation of resources. Through budgetary policy, the government aim to reallocate resources under the economic and social priorities of the country. The government can influence the allocation of resources through its budget. Second objective is reducing inequality in income and wealth. Economic inequality is an inherent part of every economic system. The government aims to reduce such inequalities of income and wealth through its budgetary policy. The government aims to influence the distribution of income by imposing taxes on the rich and spending more on the welfare of the poor. It will reduce the income of the rich and raise the standard of living for the poor people. So through this objective, government always impose tax on the rich and increase the welfare schemes for the poor. The next objective is economic stability. It means the absence of large-scale fluctuations in prices. Such fluctuations create uncertainties in the economy. Government can control over these fluctuations through taxes and expenditure. So whenever there is any economic fluctuation, government tries to control that through taxes and expenditure. These are two keywords to control the economic stability. Inflationary tendencies emerge when aggregate demand is higher than aggregate supply. Everyone knows inflation means aggregate demand is greater than the aggregate supply, and government can bring down aggregate demand by reducing its expenditure. So whenever government reduce its expenditure, aggregate demand is reduced, because all of you know the government expenditure is the major part of aggregate demand, and whenever there is deflation in the economy, then government has to raise the aggregate demand, and for that purpose government increases its expenditure. Number fourth objective is economic growth. Economic growth means a sustainable increase in the real GDP of an economy, that is an increase in the volume of goods and services produced in an economy. A budget can be effective tool to ensure economic growth in a country. If the government provides tax rebates and other incentives for the productive ventures and projects, it can stimulate savings and investment in the economy. So these are the four main objectives of the government budgets. So that's all for this class. Thank you, dear students, for listening. Thank you.